What's up, gang? It's your boy Flavorful, and today I want to talk about something that I think the One Piece TCG is severely lacking, and that is whimsy. One Piece is an anime that is, at its very core, joyful, goofy, and whimsical. From its character designs and all their weird quirks to its gags and humor, One Piece has a downright silly spirit. But is that spirit reflected in the card game? Well, to date, there are a little over 1,800 cards in the game, and I want to talk about some of the wackier ones, of which there are surprisingly few. Now, I'm not talking about artwork, okay? We've got goofy-ass artwork in spades in this game, Peep some of my favorites flying by right here, but what I'm getting at more specifically is goofy effects, the poster boy of which is none other than Byrnndi World. My boy Byrnndi is an 8-cost purple character with 8,000 power that says when attacking Don -8, this character gains 792,000 power during this turn.
Now that's a lot of damage!
This insane line of text has championed meme decks in One Piece since its printing all the way back in OPO2. If you want to see Byrnndi in action, peep real_Joshua's video on it that I've linked in the description. But it's in the game's early history where we find another one of the more goofy suspects of the game's design space, and that is the Pacifista engine. These guys are a little bit more inconspicuous than the 800k World Burner, but what they lack in absurd power output, they make up for in absurd deck building possibilities. As far as I'm aware, these are the only cards that let you play as many as you want in your deck. Without that restriction in place, you can make some pretty neat little lists. If you want to check that in action, be sure to check out my Off Meta Monday video on Red Blue VV. The only problem, though, is that there hasn't been enough of an effort on the part of Byrnndi to push these cards to the forefront of playability, right? Ever since OPO2, there hasn't really been any more stuff for the Pacifista engine, so they were never really set up for success, and Sentomaru just isn't cutting it. But they're not alone, right? There's plenty of cards in this game that have been forgotten by John Byrnndi, but still are able to persist and be successful throughout the annals of the game's history, despite their lack of support. Queen is one of those leaders, like Enel, that's just evergreen enough in his ability that even though he's not being given direct support from the devs, new cards always present new options for him. But just because you can cook with him doesn't mean that you would want to, right? Sometimes you just want to put Playgrounds in your deck and laugh at your opponent. Now, Isoni and Playgrounds are a truly unique combination of cards in this game that stand out despite the fact that even when Queen was in the meta, nobody played them, which, you know, that's a damn shame to me because the card isn't the worst thing I've ever seen, it's just too much deck space for not enough payoff. For the cost of 2 Don and pitching an Ice Oni, you have an event that tucks a 4-cost or less character and then cheats out that Ice Oni from your trash. Ice Oni is a 0-power 1k character that costs 8 and tucks a 5-cost or less character that it does battle with to the bottom of the deck. We're really knocking down the house with this effect, I know, but it's the novelty that I appreciate, right? These cards pack a lot of goofy and fun flavor into them, and that's exactly what I'm talking about, right? It's that we need more of in this game. Goofy, fun, whimsy, all of those things are what takes a normal card from forgettable to iconic. Take a game like Magic, where there's well over 30,000 cards, but still plenty of fan favorites like Stormcrow, Gazban Ogre, and more recently, Jumbo Cactuar. These are all examples of cards that aren't very good, but their whimsical design and meme worthiness has allowed them to stick in the hearts of the player base. Hopefully in the future we get a little bit more creativity and flavor injected into the One Piece card game to sort of bring it closer to the original source material, but what does that look like, right? I think stages are the best place to explore some of that creativity. Easily the least explored card type in the game, there's a lot of room for wacky antics in One Piece's many islands and ships. For example, we could have a Going Merry that triggers when a character would die from battle. You could trash the stage to play a Going Merry character from your trash to take the attack for the character that would have been KO'd. It's goofy, it's flavorful, it's not too busted, and it checks all the marks for the kind of whimsy that I'm looking for. But that's just one idea, right? I want to know what you have to say, right? Sound off some fun ideas in the comments. Let me know what you think. This is a topic that I've honestly put a lot of thought into. I'm very curious to see what the community thinks about the sillier aspects of our game. Do we need more? Do we need less? I personally think we need more. That's why the entire reason I'm fucking doing this video. But anyway, that's enough out of me today. I'm your host, Flavorful. I've enjoyed making the video. I hope you enjoyed watching it. Be sure to like and subscribe, and we'll catch you next time on Flavorful's Fleet TCG.